You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Hello and welcome back to the Horny Housewife podcast. So we've got listener questions. We've got really good listener questions. So we're going to pow out today. When you're listening to this episode, it's the day after Mother's Day. So for your sake, I hope you're not in the doghouse. If you only got flowers the morning of, and like really put that shit together the morning of, I suggest you might need to do some recovery work. You may be unaware of this. She may be giving zero signs of like, maybe you do that every year. And so you're like, well, I'm gonna do this every year. I think that you should do something extra nice for her. But I know my listeners probably, scheduled her a massage or ate her pussy or gave her breakfast in bed, or all three. That's the kind of man that I would want my daughter to marry. The one that's going to give her all three and more. I don't have a daughter. For a reason, probably. Okay, so what are we going to do in this intro? We're going to follow up on some polls. One that is completely shallow and irrelevant and just fun kiki, because I want to talk about what I'm sure people think but just don't say, and that is, where are all the ugly people and where are all the pretty people? I mean, we're married, not dead, okay? So, and I'm going to get into what happens when you're always around an attractive person that's funny and hilarious and lovely. That's in listener questions today, so stay tuned. Can you guess what I'm going to say? Maybe no. But I asked what states, and I'm not going to go and read Idaho, California. No one said fucking Idaho. But I would say the top, Texas was the top. And I'm saying that because I remember Texas is from the top. I'm like, can't you? No, Texas is from the top. It's a big ass state. And there's such beautiful women. I've seen women that you're like, so yeah, Florida, duh. I've seen women that I've been like, is she real? Is she, I don't care. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck if it's real or not? Florida, Texas, California. I got some Canadas in there and some New Yorks in there. A New York beautiful is different than a Miami beautiful. But a New York beautiful is chic, is fashion. And Miami is tan, body, hourglass, tight clothes, long legs, big boot, rich. They look rich. They look like an expensive person to date. Great. Texas, maybe girl next door. There's the model, there's the girl next door. Why are we only talking about girls? And so where there's pretty girls, there's pretty men. And I swear, let's just go into other dimensions of this. I think where the sun shines, Arizona was in there, there's more pretty people. Because endorphins make you happy, and the sun gives you some of those, right? Did I make that up? Vitamin D. Vitamin D does the same thing as the other vitamin D, and both of them take the cunt out of you. Just like a woman who hasn't gotten vitamin D in that way for a long time, there's an air about her. There's a cloud that looms over her. And this is something a girl thought that only the girls are going to understand. The guys are going to just think I'm a stupid, insecure bitch. But the girls are going to go, I totally get what you're saying. If you live in a state where people are it's an ugly state. What's an ugly state? Washington, Oregon. And I've seen really beautiful, actually, there's this girl that's one of the prettiest girls I've ever seen in my life. Don't put a stitch of makeup, perfect in every way. She's breathtaking. She's breathtaking, okay? And she can sing, and you're like, you can sing? She must have the worst personality, right? Because I just went a lot. But I think she's like really cool. I don't know her. I know someone who knows her, but and she's from here. So it's like there's always the exceptions, okay? But for the most part, growing up in Texas, kind of like everywhere you went, like there's pretty people. Like, you know what I mean? Where here you can be like, wow, I feel like the most attractive person in the room. So it's like, you're like, oh, you know? So that is great for, if you're a 6 or a 7 and you come to an ugly state, you're like, I feel I'm beautiful. But then you go out and you're like, oh, I'm not, but I thought I was. And that felt better. This doesn't feel as good, but it's humbling. It's really humbling. And I think when we think about our men and like what they see, it's like if you're around pretty people all the time, you're desensitized to that, right? It's just like now the beauty, like the standard of beauty, probably your personality, like it's to shine right. These beautiful women are a dime a dozen. And there's places like that where it's like they're all beautiful, and really attractive men who date really attractive, beautiful women, and that's because they're really fucking hot, or they meet all 3 6s, which all these girls tend to like love. If you know, you know. I'm not. It's really stupid. I'm not. Then they're like, you know, she's different because she's smarter, but whatever. But if you're in an ugly state, it's like pretty people walk in and it's like, oh, a shiny pony, a unicorn, a sturgeon. I don't fucking know. Chinese boiling. Like, oh, a cool car. Like it's more rare. So it's just like it doesn't matter what comes out of her mouth, because she's just pretty to look at. And that's not everywhere like in some other places. Which would you rather live in, girlies? Would you rather live in an ugly state and just feel like you just thrive until you get a life? Or would you rather be around all the pretty people? I think probably energetically wise, you'd want to live around the pretty people, right? You don't want to be around a bunch of the smartest person in the room. You don't want to be the prettiest person in the room. You're in the wrong room then. You're in the wrong room. And I swear it's because it's so cloudy and dreary. I think a lot of serial killers hail from the Pacific Northwest. I don't hail from here. I reside here. But the spring, the summer here, breathtaking. Breathtaking. I wonder how true that is. Is there like a poll? Is there a study on like where the most attractive people live? Oh my God. I bet it's in like New Zealand, Sweden. Where do the most attractive people live? There's no definitive answer, but example, Illinois, California, and Texas have been cited as having more USA winners, Victoria's Secret angels, and models. Illinois, I don't know why I didn't get that one. Illinois, California, Texas. Miami, Los Angeles, and San Diego. Okay. And I believe it. The Illinois one threw me for a curve. I want to see. I'm going to go look up all the Illinois girly pops. Ooh. Sexy Midwestern. Okay, so I also asked you, and this is definitely more on brand, and we'll get a little emo for 1 sec and get real talk about what's really going on in your marriage. I asked the men and the women separately. Women, does your significant other do a good job filling your love cup? I asked the men, do you feel desired by your wife? So when I asked the women, 26% said yes, 23% said hot and cold, and 18% said not really. You're like, that didn't add up to 100. The remaining percent were men who couldn't partake. Now, men, do you feel desired by your wife? 25% said yes. 42% said no. So we have to figure that out. And 33% no, I'm a wifey watching. So they were girls. Interesting. And this is only my following, so my demographic. So the women listening, a lot of them, their husbands found this podcast and then showed their wives. And so I just happen to believe that because they seek education and information, like this is educational, like for personal growth, that they're intentional to fill cups, to fill the cuppies. But there was a large percentage that said hot and cold. And I can see both sides of this. I can see the side of life is life, and there's times we have to evolve, and seasons of growth and transition and setbacks and loss and all these things. So it's only natural that sometimes things get shelved that shouldn't be shelved. Sometimes we feel in a funk or loss of motivation, all kinds of things. Disconnect, bored, stressed, all of it, right? If it has been, you're like, no, bitch, it's not like seasonal hot and cold. It's like Monday, Wednesday, hot, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, cold, inconsistent, AF, keeping me anxious, avoidant, then you need to go to therapy together because it is toxic. Guys, I know you don't want to see it. There's a million things I could point about your wives that if you shared with me, I would happy to call the toxic, as someone who definitely knows what it is. I go to therapy. Together and individually. And I credit it to all the growth that I've had and rewarding relationship, especially with myself, number one, which makes me a better person. I'm a more lively, calmer, more patient, whole person, which I was always whole, but filling my chocolate bunny. If you know, you know. But inconsistency, especially if you're an anxious person, can be crippling. It can be just heighten that anxiety. And so at some point, men, you'll have to accept when okay, I know she's like this, and I may not think that it's I don't get why she's so anxious. I don't get it. You're not changing it. And if she is working on herself in any capacity, she's reading a book, she's listening to the podcast, she goes to therapy, any podcast, inquires on how to be a more securely attached person, then there's absolutely no harm. In fact, I encourage it for you to be reassuring, for you to do the things that you may think are silly or unnecessary or not needed, or I'm not her daddy. If this is the person you love and you care about them, wouldn't you do those things that are truly so easy? A check-in call, a reassuring statement, a compliment, the littlest, easiest shit. A lot of times it's women who let me show you this. Or the other day, little bitty bids, that's what they're called, for connection. And that may not register. This isn't me and her doing bid for connection. She wanted to show me some stupid video on TikTok. I swear to God, she wanted you to see it and share in a laugh, share in a cry, learn something together. It was a bid for connection. Same girlies. He wants to show you something. I don't give a rat's ass about that. Whatever he's going to show me. You missed the bid for connection. So we have to remember, as much I'm totally the girl who wants to be the princess, but you have to remember we're human beings. We're human beings. So they also want to feel heard and loved and cared about and desired. They need it just as much as we do. We may express that need differently, and the actions may look different. But just like connecting on a human level, that's like how you fell for each other in the first place. So don't forget it. And this was about the women saying what their guys do, the hot and cold. Set an alarm on your phone. Set an alarm on your phone. That can really help. If something doesn't come natural to you, treat it like it's a job and don't sit there and bitch and go, I have to treat this like a job. Should I have to do that? Do you think it'd be different with a different woman? If the answer is no, and it's just like, this is how I am, set the fucking alarm. Okay? Set the fucking alarm. Men, do you feel desired by your wife? Kind of just touched on that by like doing what you did in the beginning, but do you know your husband's love language? And if you're like, of course I do, it's physical touch. It's words of affirmation. Well, if it's words, come on. It's so easy. Text it. Text it. Find something. But you know what you can do? Our therapist recently told us, like, take 10 minutes every day, anytime, and just both of you individually, just us together, soak in gratitude. Like, start talking about like what we're really grateful for right now. Like right now in this moment, what's going good? Like what what makes us feel good and grateful? And that, energetically makes a beautiful storm. Storm sounds negative, rainbow, whatever. It feels nice, it's positive, it gains momentum. Try it before you knock it. And that's one way to get into like that zone, if that's where it is. If you get mundane, if you get routine, it could be great. It could be like you feel safe. I know they love me. I know they find me attractive. I know they're not going anywhere. But I always say compliments expire. It doesn't hurt to hear it. You want to hear it. Some people want to hear it often. Some people are anxious people working on themselves and they still want to fucking hear it. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to hear it. So you can get on board. Or you can be like, oh, I don't think that should matter. And watch it die. Slowly, maybe. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. Neglect. You can think all day long that it's not. But if I think you both agree on that terminology and definition. So keep that in mind. Interesting. That poll would allow us to maybe go check in with our significant other and say, do you feel desired by me? What do you think we could do to make that better? Some of them are going to laugh. I'm like, yeah, you won't get off my fucking back. I feel desired. But other people, this could really help. So had to shoot my shot. You can incorporate the 10 minutes of gratitude. You can all do that. Promise, cross my heart. So if you're listening and you're like, wow, I really want to hear Jordan answer my question or my goss, my tea, I got something to tell, write in thehornyhousewifepodcast.com. Follow me on social media at THHpod. I'll totally say this again. And leave me 5 stars on Apple Podcast. Love ya. Let's get into it. Losing weight and improving your health doesn't have to be impossible. It doesn't have to feel impossible. Whether you've tried everything or you're just starting out, sometimes the right support can make all the difference. Today's episode is brought to you by LifeRx.MD, one of the largest custom GLP-1 and peptide companies in the U.S. LifeRx is helping thousands of people take back control of their health with personalized peptides protocols, including GLP-1 starting at just $250 a month. There are no contracts, no subscriptions, no hidden fees, and best of all, no insurance or wait list required. With 24/7 customer support, LifeRx is accessible, affordable, and built for people who are ready to become the healthiest version of themselves. So whether you're looking to lose weight, optimize performance, or simply feel better in your body, LifeRx makes it super easy to get started. So you can visit LifeRx.MD and use my promo code HOUSEWIFE at checkout, and you will get $50 off your first month. So get started today. That's LifeRx, that's LifeRx.MD, and use code HOUSEWIFE to start your journey to a healthier you with support that actually works. The link is in the description. Again, that's LifeRx.MD. Okay, it's time for the listener questions. Please don't sing. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. I recently started working again after maternity leave. I feel great. I feel so blessed. I bounced back quickly. I don't think I have postpartum by any means, but recent feelings / actions have me self-reflecting. I figured I'd get THH perspective. Shut up, Jordan. My cube mate is funny, objectively attractive, and we click. I find myself trying to look good or better than before. I'm not an unhappily married woman. Oh shit. I have full grip and self-discipline and would never but wanted to be transparent that I recognize I'm putting in more effort, and maybe this is why. Okay. Kudos for the awareness. My husband cares about me, and if I want a break, he's cool with it / supportive daddy. He saw a picture from the last after work happy hour and asked, who's the dude? I said, my new office mate. Safe to say he wasn't pleased. In what way? I feel like this is totally out of my control as I'm not the hiring manager. Ooh, this is interesting. I'm employed. What are your thoughts on how I navigate the inevitable conversation to be had that I've been dreading? He isn't pushing it, but it's lingering. Okay. This is juicy. This is juicilicious. Well, first things first. You're going to hate that I'm saying this, but I really do need you to flip-flop it of how you would feel if the situation was completely vice versa. So, and you're like, oh, but he doesn't have a job. It's different. No, I want you to pretend he has your job. He's your office mate. That man has a girl. That man has a wife. And I know there's people like, oh, Jordan, you're so insecure. It's just harmless office flirtation. That's just kind of like, okay, do I think there's people that are harmless flirts? Yes, duh. Do I think more often than not when there's two people flirting, yeah, there's a great chance that one of them is a harmless flirt, and there's an even better chance that both of them aren't harmlessly flirting, or it doesn't stay that way by any means. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like there's a little truth in every joke. You know, sure. And I get like, what did you say? You said I would never. I have full grip and self-discipline and would never. So I feel like you're aware. And so you're looking at it from the perspective of like, I would never, I can't control it. And the fact is you probably are enjoying it. So it's like you're excited and you just had a baby. I'm sure there's probably like, I don't even want to go into the postpartum. You said that you feel great. You're doing great. I think sometimes people can downplay like and think they have normal anxiety or normal depression or like normal crisis. And it might be that, but it might not. You know, I didn't experience postpartum, and I think I did have like normal new mom feelings, which is like scary and emotional because your hormones are just fucked up. So keep it in mind. Like if you see me blinking a lot, it's not because I have Tourette's. It's because my allergies are just killing me. And I got glasses. And when I put them on, I think of Bubbles from Reno 911. And I wish I would have bought glasses that had 3D virtual try-on. And I didn't. And so there, you'll have to see me in them at some point and just accept me for who I am. Okay? until the next pair. Okay, let's circle back. Circle back. There's plenty of things that are in your control. I know you're like, bitch, I don't want to go to my HR department and say like, I need a new cubicle mate. Like, yeah, that's embarrassing. I get it. I'm not asking you to. If you were like, I'm dreaming about fucking this guy when my husband's fucking me and close my skin with it, then like, maybe I'd be like, wouldn't be a terrible idea. But I think that not that. You shouldn't do that. The real thing you should do is keep self-reflecting, because I want to at least know, maybe not, this might not even be applicable, but this is one of those moments where you go, if I'm being real with myself, is there anything I feel like I'm wanting in my marriage and my relationship that I'm not getting? I don't want you to feel like you have to justify it or qualify or be like, yeah, this, but like I shouldn't because like we're doing this, and this. It's like, even if it's not a realistic expectation that should be met currently for whatever circumstance, if you feel like there's something that you wish you were getting, I feel like you should just jot this down for your own personal records. You can delete it. You can write it on your notes app and then can it later. But just like a woman's notes, men, that's the sickest thing you could do. Sickest thing you could do. If we don't want to circle back again. Okay, interesting though. So I guess I couldn't totally blame you, but don't you dare. None of my listeners are going through their wife's notes. You want hurt feelings for the rest of your life? You're not choosing your marriage if you go through her notes. Okay? You don't have to go to the fucking happy hours with him. You know what I'm saying? So if you were totally 100% bet, totally cool, wouldn't even make you flinch or think anything, you wouldn't even have to a thought if it was vice versa, then I will STF you. But if it wouldn't make you twinge a little and be like, okay, come home to the baby. And like, I get having your own personal time. I do. And you deserve that. And you should take it. And I insist, you need it. You need it. That's important. That's key. And I like that you're grateful that you've bounced back and you're doing the damn thing. And that you can't fix what you can't see. So you can clearly see this. So I think this is a check-in, and you did just have a baby. So like you're saying, no, he's actually fantastic. And he actually does show up for me, and he's emotionally supportive and all the things. Give yourself some grace. Know that like shit is going on in your body. I don't know how far postpartum you are, how like long in it you are past giving birth, but you're out of whack. And then say you're like, no, I feel like my hormones are pretty much like leveled out. Mentally, fuck that shit. Your life just changed forever. And that is a time, listen to last week's episode if you haven't, where a quarter life crisis can hit, an identity crisis of sorts. You brought life into this world. You're like, I brought life into this world, and then it just humbles you. And hopefully you feel like an empowered bad bitch right now. Just wait until they start talking. But it makes your relationship look a lot different. And then it's not like you and him against the world or you and him building. It's you, him, and your child. And the child becomes at the forefront. And there's seasons when they have to be, because you have to keep them alive. Like you have to really pour into them. It's like a season where they're these little sponges and you have to just nurture, feed. And if you don't remember like, oh, this is my person also in this way, not just helping me do a good job at this, not just being like physical support or best friend, like the emotional support, that's great. I'd hope you have that. But then if you're not connecting at the end, and he could be like, she's so tired, she does so much, I just want to like leave her alone. But like his inside thought, his inside need is like, God, I wish we could like cuddle again like we used to, or I wish maybe we could watch a movie again, or like slip out, or she'd put that dress on, or like, like him being a man and also wanting to connect with his wife. So just don't forget. Don't forget that shit. And I know their mom's like, bitch, I'm tired. But just like we trudge through for what we love in our child, like save like a 15-minute trudge for daddy, okay? I think that 15 minutes could make a huge, huge difference. And men have grace. And they're like, we do. But there's some that, when you hear a man that cheats on his wife when she's pregnant or like right after birth, you're just like, it is giving piece of shitty. And I know we could talk to men and hear their stories of, I just felt so disconnected. I felt so alone. I felt so neglected. But that's the insecurity that got the best of them. Just like if this woman went out and let that flourish and thrive, you would eventually see like, what's he giving you that daddy isn't at home? And if it just boiled down to, I can hear a rebuttal, new, exciting, I mean, yeah, like that's your like animalistic side. But if you had a grip and discipline, you wouldn't like keep putting yourself in an atmosphere if you saw like, oh, this really gives me the tingles. Okay, like if you knew someone was giving, and you never said you got the tingles, but like it wouldn't be surprising if you got the tingles. And the perfect storm, right? It's like, that's why I've said it before, like I feel like the universe, God, whatever, higher powers that be have protected my marriage in a sense, truly. I mean, there were times that I was like, there are like leeches or like work. It's always fucking work. And you're right. It's like, I'm not in control. I'm not in. But you are in control of how you open your heart. You would never go talk to them. Like, if your discipline's not a grip, you would never go to them about your spouse. And like, what is it? And you can meet a good person who is like, yeah, they're funny and they're attractive. So like, of course they're lively and I have this little innocent crush. Okay. But imagine having to be around that every single day. So you do have to think about like long game protection. And I would expect the same from a man who cared about his marriage. So that is real sister advice. Moving onward. Our next listener question is sponsored by Popstar. You know what it is? If you don't, I will enlighten you. If you want a sweeter load, if you want a bigger load, and if you want to do something good to support your overall semen health, it's Popstar, baby. It's so easy. It's a supplement. It's doctor developed and formulated. It's vegan. It checks all the boxes. You can go check it out at popstarlabs.com/horny-housewife. That'll also get you a discount. That'll save you 15%. You can click the link in the episode notes, or again, go to that link, popstarlabs.com/horny-housewife. And here we go. How can I keep pleasing her after I finished and she hasn't? Short, simple, but what a man. And some men are like, probably, okay, some men, this is immediately mean to this listener, I'm so sorry, are like, duh, bro, here's what you should do. And like, I get that. But I like that you asked a woman, because they may say, this is what you got to do. And they might be right and they might be wrong. But let me tell you what could really surprise her, could really go the distance. Because there's always like okay, yeah, like, or he came too quick for me, or I haven't gotten off and I really wanted to get off and he got off, or it was just going great and that was hot and in the moment and he came, and there's, no like disappointment around it. But you're not a selfish fuck and you're like, I think like, she seems still aroused, and I don't think she's gotten off. And maybe, you know, I think it's 18 minutes for the average woman from arousal to climax, whereas men, it's 5 minutes. Did you know that? Did you know that? So you're a good man. You're a good man. And so I'm going to reward you with some gifts. You want to have that Popstar load, at least leave her with like a nice, like, there's so many women, including myself, that's what we need. That's like the final, like if we hadn't, seeing him get off was the nudge we needed. It was that is so arousing for so many women. So that can be like kickoff to finale, okay? Or definitely getting closer. And if you're a badass motherfucker, you can, if you cream pied her, or even if you didn't, but if you cream pied her, so like a lot of guys would go, I'll go eat her pussy. Maybe you didn't cream pie her though, but you could be an extra badass motherfucker and cream pie her. Say it one more time, Jordan. Drink every time you hear me say cream pie. And go down and partaketh in what you did. And only a real man would do it. And only a real man would do it. A secure, real man. A secure, real man wouldn't even be like, does that make me weird that I'm doing that? Nope, they wouldn't even do that. They would just be on board freak a leak. And she'd be like, oh my, I just like clenched too. I was like, oh my God, that's so hot. So, just like, or if you're like, I can't, Jordan, I can't. Well, if you have that Popstar load, it'll taste like pineapple, so yes, you can. Or eat her ass then. So that's so gross, you can go there. And this is why none of my family can listen to this podcast. I don't want you to. If you're here, you're disrespecting me, basically, by choosing to go against my wishes. Do you want me to go against your wishes? Okay. Love you, but go. If you're here, you're not, because you're my family, and you wouldn't do that to me. Do something exciting, okay? Tell her a dirty story. That's what you should do. Do you know what she's into? Do you know what she likes? Is she a book girl? Is she a book talk? Is she a smutty girl? Does she have like a cuck fantasy? Does she, like, what is she really into? Make up a story. Maybe it's like her being dominatrixed. I don't know. Talk fucking dirty to her. And you sound like an eager man because you're asking me. I'm flattered. You're asking a woman like, what can I do? I finished, she hasn't. Don't shame spiral. That's what you're not going to do. You can do that after you get her off. Just kidding. And she's going to love you more because it's just shitty. Like if you leave your girl hanging, any guys are like, yeah, I kind of do walk away. But she never comes. She never. Oh, okay. So let's just give up completely. Let's just, it's never going to happen for you, sweets. Like, no, I dare you to... You don't want to be like, we've got to make you come. I'm not giving up till you come. That could be like so much pressure for her. And so now you're like, I can't win. I can't be assertive about it. I can't be like whatever about it. What do I do, Jordan? What do I do? You check in with her. You ask her, like, what more could I be doing in bed? Or is it not an in-bed thing? Is it an outside of the bedroom thing? If you say that to her, and because she's not getting off, and you go to her and ask that, she might have to pick up her jaw off the floor and say, who's cooked in here? Like, what's going on? And you can tell her about this podcast, and she can be mad because the name sounds slutty, but she's going to listen and go, bless this woman. Bless her. Bless her. Lord's word. You know what, Chris? I do have a couple of things. on the top of my head that might help. Or maybe some things you shouldn't be doing that are not helping. And don't take it personally. If she comes with that kind of spirit, I'm going to guess it's because you haven't asked that question ever. So that she might have been waiting for this moment. In that case, you did this. But don't shy away from it. Let's change now. Let's do it now. But if you check in with her and like, it's like nothing, light surface, or maybe like, whatever, really be like, hey, I want to know what I can do to like bring you more pleasure in bed. Like you're doing nothing wrong. Like you are just honestly, if you just laid there, babe, you're just so fucking beautiful. I'm obsessed with you. Like I would just, like, I still want it. I still want to get naked with you any chance I can get. Even if you're like, well, not technically, just say it. And she'll, and go, but I know it could be so much more. And I'm not talking like, oh, I want it to be like a porn. Even though in your head, you're like, I do want it to be like a porn. We're trying to speak her language. And I'm guessing that this is going to be Tabitha's language. Okay, just bear with me. You're going to go, we're married. It's me and you. And we're doing the damn thing. We're doing the damn thing. And I don't want life to rob us from the passion we used to have. And yeah, we could be a statistic. Write this shit down. We could be a statistic. We could, go through the motions. But I want more, and I want it with you. Write this down. And I just want to know how that goes for you. If she slapped me and said, who the fuck told you to say that? I have an itch. ASMR. I'm just kidding. But no, you're a good man, and I think this is going to go well for you, and I definitely would like follow-up if you don't mind. And maybe you might get your feelings hurt. Fingies crossed you don't. But if you do, it'll only sting for a little. But you're like, wait, did you give me those fire tips? Yeah, I told you to eat your cum out of her. Or I said, tell her a dirty story. Both of those things are a hit. Go get her favorite vibrator. Go get some toys involved. Use your fingers and your mouth. Enable her to masturbate on you. That's what you should do. Because maybe you didn't do the job. I got ahead of myself. How can I say this? The means coming first. You either didn't, either came too fast for her, not for her in general. She's just like, oh, I just couldn't get there in the time that we did. This isn't even relevant, but I'm just saying why you want to get the toys and incorporate and ask questions is because don't just leave it up to your own, oh, it must be because of this. Get willing, and you sound willing. And don't be a chicken shit. So yeah. Moving forward. Tell me you're not still going to the doctor, telling them that you want that little pep in your step for the man downstairs, and then driving your ass to your local pharmacy, waiting in line. Todd, we have Todd's dick pills right here. Are you doing that? Because you don't have to do that. It's so stupid. BlueChew. Okay, you probably know what it is, but if you live under a rock, it's an online prescription service that delivers the same active ingredient that's in Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra in chewable form. BlueChew is the OG chewable tablets, okay? Made in the USA. You talk to a licensed US physician. It's a very simple, easy, all online, no pharmacy, no doctor's visits, just all online, right on your computer. And then they mail it to your door. So it all happens in a couple of days. I watched my husband do the whole thing. 2 days later, it was at our door. Discreet packaging. It's easy. It's affordable. It's all the things. And you can try BlueChew free. Just click the link in the episode notes below or use promo code HOUSEWIFE at checkout. Go to BlueChew.com and use code HOUSEWIFE at checkout to try BlueChew 1 month free. Just pay $5 flat for shipping. Go check it out. Link in the bio. I hope that helped somewhat. How do I get to my question? Okay, my podcast. My husband and I listen to your podcast all the time. We are big fans. I was wondering what your advice was on squirting and technique on squirting. Okay, I'm going to give you a referral. I feel like I'm letting my husband down because I don't do that anymore. Any advice or techniques would be appreciated. Okay, so instead of just yapping, like, please shut the fuck up, just tell me the answer. You said anymore. So obviously you were doing that at some point. If it was childbirth and then it changed, it's like people's bodies change. I know one girl, she was like, I never squirt and then I had babies. And then now that's like, it happens every single time. And I was like, is she peeing on herself or just waiting? But I don't think it matters. So give yourself some grace. And I bet you're making it so much bigger in your head, unless he's being a D-bag and be like, why don't you do that anymore? That wouldn't be like the cutest thing in the world. Oh, he listens to, hey. If you do that, don't do that. If you do, but I bet he doesn't because he listens to this podcast. So he would never. He's smarter than that. You probably are making the whole I'm letting my husband down bigger in your head and thus mentally fucking yourself a little bit because that's what that would do, anxiety. And then any anxiety is like the orgasm suppressor. You know. If you know, you know, and you all fucking know. There is a course on Beducated. And they sponsor the podcast all the time, but not in today's episode. And but this happens to be like the legitimate answer I would give you if you were asking me IRL or like just asked. I would say there's a fantastic course on Beducated, and it's not even, I watched it several times, and it makes any woman feel like, oh my God, I've got this. Like, I've never done that in my whole life, and like, I'm gonna make this happen because I just watched this cat do it. And like a cat, if you watch it, you'll understand it. It's like an animation. But most of the courses on Beducated is like people, like, you watching them do it, like in this like beautiful, respectful, consensual way. Beducated's amazing, okay? So not turning into an ad. But there's a squirting technique course, step by step of what you're going to do to warm up, how you're going to get set up, maybe the conversation around it. And then I also scroll through the archive, like first 50 episodes. Those are the best episodes. And find the squirting one. And I went through a lot of that course. So if you want to hear me chit-chat about it more in depth, go to that. I should find the link and put it in the episode description. Shouldn't I? Should be nice. And then go on Beducated and use code Jordan, JORDYN, and check that out. At least save you some coin. I think it's like 60% too, so it's pretty good. But you will not only get the lesson, you will watch it happen. Not a person, though. This one's an animation, I guess, because no one signed up to do. You need to see what's going on inside, too. You needed to see. But they did it in such a cute way. You'll still be turned on. You're like, I don't even know how that turned me on, but I did. Because I'm going to try it. And you're going to feel confident. And then you get to try together with no pressure. And Beducated's so great about that. About like, why do I keep eating the fucking microphone? Sorry. Pardon me. So that's what I think you should do for if you want a real motherfucking answer. Because if I just went like on and on, like, oh, I mean, I'm not you and you're not me. But no, don't feel shame because like that is most girls. That's not, I mean, I don't know most, but it's like what, 50-50? Let's look it up. What is the percentage of women that squirt? Estimates vary widely regarding the percentage of women who experience female ejaculation. Studies have reported figures ranging from 10 to 54%. A 2013 study found that 37% of women have experienced it at least once. I would fall in that category, but like, it's like what? What's something that like goes through the sky that happens every 15 years? You know, that kind of thing. 2014 survey reported a prevalence of 25%. It's important to note that these figures may be influenced by sample size, methodology, and cultural norms. Additionally, one more. It's estimated only 10% of women experience this regularly. See. And I've heard also to like break down myths, Mythbuster on porn. Like there are the squirter girls. There's a girl that teaches unveducated and she can squirt on command. Because she did like a study to prove. They're like, is squirt pee? Is it not pee? I'm like, it's pee, it's urine. And no, it's not, it's just ejaculate, it's not your pee. And so they gave her dye to ingest. And I think they did this with lots of people. And then she went and he did it in a cup on a bad bitch. And they looked at it under a microscope and there are traces. Like if it was going to be pee, it would have been majority dye, the dye that she ingested. And if it wasn't, there were small traces of the dye. So it was urine mixed with another substance, female ejaculate. So that is the actual answer. You're welcome. And so, yeah, don't shame yourself. Okay, that's like rare. And sir, listening, like, if you're like obsessed with it and love that shit, then I don't know what to tell you. And like, that just makes us, sometimes I'll be like, man, I wonder if Derek just wishes he married a squirter. I wonder that. And I get down about it. And he's like OCD and like really clean. And I'll be like, man, that would be like a making a mess every time. He's like, yeah, that would be. That's me like, see, it's better than I do. Okay, but I think you're going to be fine. And especially because you could do it before. But I mean, hey, if you were a regular, but our bodies change. So like, go with the flow. Your dick's gonna change over the years too. So, moving onward. What does it mean that sex is just going through the motions for me? I feel numb. I don't feel like a normal dude. Oh, it's a dude, it's a sir. Or what society tells me is normal. Okay, that was just it. So, I could see that, right? Because guys, like, especially as a girl, I feel like this is going to make it worse for you. My apologies. But every woman that has a high libido, I think, comes to this realization. They're like, oh, like, we're just told, and like what we see in porn, or when you're around, like, fuck boys for a long season of your life, that men are just like rearing, ready to go. I don't know why I do this. I just think of you know? And I know there are a lot of men listening like, Jordan, but we are. And I know. But there's also a good amount of men who age, all of you. And there's a portion of aging men, you're all aging, that are like, oh, I really feel the effects of my testosterone lowering, and you do something about it, right? Just like there's a bunch of women who perimenopausal means like anytime around menopause, which there's like a large gap, and it's like it just doesn't work the same. Like if a girl doesn't get wet as quickly, it has nothing to do with you. Like you're not, it's like, oh wow, like she just gets drier and drier and drier, and she just suck. I'm like, yeah, maybe you do suck, but also her body, like that's just. And so get on board, be supportive, because if you don't, your karma is your dick is going to shrivel its way inside your body. It's going to be inside out if you're not supportive. That's what I heard anyways. So yeah. Hold on, I don't even know. I'm so angry. Oh, okay. So society lies. And you're aware of that. You're like, I don't feel normal. What the fuck is normal? What's normal? And I'm sure guys lie too. So you could go to your buddies, and guys don't do that. Like my therapist was like, there's gender differences. Like, girls will go to each other and will get all the deets, the scoop, the sad, the good, the bad, the good, the ugly, every moment, every high, every low. And men aren't doing that. They're not like, oh yeah, like, how have you been since? I mean, maybe some of them are. That's an emotionally intelligent man and we love to see it. But they're not as relational as women, it seems, generally speaking. I know there are exceptions and like they're the best. Some of them are like still major fuckboys and they're just emotionally intelligent fuckboys. Anyway, it's hard to get vulnerable about these things. So I'm here to normalize it and tell you, you are normal. You're not normal because nobody's fucking normal. What's normal? And maybe you're fucking depressed. You said you feel numb. I mean, as a fellow depressed person, pretty much. I mean, I have highs, I have lows, but like they're seasonal. That's my dog, I'm sorry. There's seasonal depression and then there's regular depression. You know that meme that's like seasonal depression's over now. It's just regular. Like that, I resonate with that. I resonate with it. And it's not like circumstantial. Does that make sense? Like if you have depression, it's like there's a lot of years, like decades of just this sadness. This is turning down. So maybe you're fucking depressed, bro. And I don't think you should go get on like Prozac or something. I really don't. I think you should do the things you love to do. Do the things you love. Do some things that bring you joy. You're like, nothing brings me joy, bitch. It does nothing bring you. If nothing is bringing you joy, then it's not just like the sex. But let's get like really solution oriented and not just be like joking anymore. Jesting. I'm jesting and making light of it with my dark sense of humor. What could we really do about this? Do you not feel connected? Do you just feel like disgusted by her? Do you feel like she's a sister? Do you feel like she's a roommate? Have you been living in roommate phase? Has it been a season or has it been like 5 years? So are you feeling what is the truth? Ooh, we need to decipher that. Is it the truth or do you feel like, oh, like I don't feel like these like I feel like we are. I feel like they're my best friend. I feel that we do this. And then we get to the sex as the sex is happening. So this could be like a choice here. So we're going off, we're making theories. Everything's gravy, you feel connected. Is everything gravy? And then you get to the sex and you're like, you feel like go to the motions. But how did you get there? Are you taking Viagra to get hard? Or are you feeling like, oh no, I'm getting horny, I'm getting hard. I just don't feel like it's connection and lovemaking. I feel like I'm masturbating with a person, which is having sex. But I feel like it's just a physical release, not something bringing us closer. Boom. Is it that? So I guess find out if you're fucking depressed. Find out if you and your partner are like roommates living separate lives and not connecting in any way. Are you thinking about someone else when you're fucking her? No. Is it just like a visual? Are you like, what's your internal dialogue about wifey? Do y'all have hard conversations? Do you talk about sex? You're like, we have hard conversations, but we don't talk about sex. You have to talk about sex. So you might want to bring it up. Ask some questions you don't want to hear the answer to that you need to hear the answer to, which could really sprinkle some more of that depression. Just kidding. But you asked me. And if you want something different to happen, you have to do something different. And usually it's kind of hard or uncomfy, but so worth it. 10 out of 10 worth it. Promise, cross my heart. Oh my God, I was like scared it wasn't recording the whole time. It's recording. Brought me across my heart. If you want to write into this show and get my fire advice, go to thehornyhousewifepodcast.com and click Ask Anonymously. Or go find me on social media, click follow, please. It's not been really kind to me over there on Instagram. Instagram's not been exciting for me lately. I have to figure that out. But I'm learning. I'm learning that I just need to focus on exposure and attention. Does that sound bad? Versus if everyone likes it or not. So I have to be a business lady. I need to not be lazy. I feel like I should take Adderall, but I don't want to. I'm what kind of person would I be if I medicated my ADHD? Would I soar like an eagle? Yeah, but would I be a fucked off eagle? Would I lose some of my spirit, some of my spunk? I saw someone post a TikTok. You're like, where's she going? Saw a TikTok and they're like, today was my first day taking Adderall. I'm I literally feel so amazing in that. And people were like, hold on tight, dear. It's just getting started. Just feel so. So it's I feel like it's meth and it's a designer meth. And, I think there's a lot of people that don't like to hear that. Or they're like, but all of the people that know. All of the people that know. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm pretty sure, I feel like it's needed and necessary for some people. And you're like, you. Look in the mirror. I do wonder, maybe I should try it. Next week's episode, I'm going to be experimenting by taking ADHD. Just kidding. Just kidding. And I think it's really bad for your heart. And I think it's bad for your health. So you just might have to deal with this. And I find it fun talking to another ADHD person because instead of getting upset about oh, they interrupted, you're conversing. We're thriving off of each other. And other people are like, that's interrupting. And I'm like, no, we're conversing. And two ADHD people can really beautifully do that. Sometimes it's a little overwhelming. But I think I was going to tell you my Instagram handle, @THHpod. Send me a DM, slide in. And if you do that, you brave, brave soul, I will not tell. Pinky swear. That's crossing my fingers like I'm lying. No, pinky swear. I will keep you anonymous forever and ever. And then I can get all the context. So follow me, subscribe, click the like button, tell a friend to tell a friend, please. And leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts because there's been some mean ones. Really appreciate it. Love you.